And hello fellow tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today I bring you gameplay in my AMX 5120. Again, AMX 5120 needs no introduction from me because you guys seen it on my channel multiple times. It's one of the tanks that I actually like. I know a lot of people don't like this tank simply because for the fact that the reload between the clips is like 3 seconds, so it's not the greatest. And you basically have to play it more, not like an autoloader, because if you try to just sit there and unload your clip, might bite you in the ass simply because you might be exposing yourself too much. Load time between the clips is just too excessive, too long, so you don't want to be just sitting there and blasting off. What you want to do is you want to peek out, take a shot, hide. But when you do that with this tank, the problem is also that when you move, your aim circle changes drastically. So this tank is very playable once your crew is quite capable and you have some gun skills on your crew, such as smooth right. Basically what smooth right helps you do is your aim circle will stay relatively small when you move your tank, so it significantly improves the gun performance, even though just looking at it doesn't seem like a gun performance perk, and you would think that most of the time it probably is used for like light tanks. But no, in reality, if you use this perk on other tanks, basically what it does is minimizes that aim circle when you move in and out from behind the cover. Another important skill for this tank would be snapshot. Obviously, snapshot improves accuracy during turret rotation, so that skill is also quite important for this tank. Once you have your crew up to speed, this tank is playable. I mean, I really like it. Obviously, AMX 50B is a better tank than this, but still, it's quite capable tank, and especially when it's drawn at top tier, it can do some damage because of that clip ability, one thing, and second, damage it can put out. You know, that 400 damage per shot, it's pretty good alpha. You multiply that by 4, and you have 1600 alpha per clip. That's quite incredible, if you ask me. The base penetration is 257, which is not that bad for tier 9. And now if you load a premium round, it has a penetration of 325. So yeah, quite capable tank. And I'm telling you guys, I played this tank as stealthy as possible. I mean, it doesn't have much armor, it is kind of big, so the camo on it is not the greatest. But if you play as a second line brawler or as a support tank, it becomes quite capable. And if you play it stealth, and I love to play it stealth, it's absolutely incredible. What I usually try to do with this tank is go to the, well, first of all, I look at the map, I try to understand what's the team's composition on both sides, and then I try to go to the weak areas. So I usually try not to engage with heavy tanks or heavily armored vehicles. I'd rather take this tank to where light tanks go, where medium tanks go, so basically I can quickly put this gun to work and get rid of some of the light vehicles on the opposition's team. So I'm gonna show you 2 games in AMX 5120. Nothing spectacular, just your regular gameplay, but at the same time I'm gonna try to explain to you what really bothers me about this tank, as well as we're gonna cover a little bit of map strategy as well. So bear with me. First game is on Fisherman's Bay. Again, like I mentioned to you before, it's not extremely incredible game, and it's not an extremely high damage game, but basically I could have potentially won this game because it got really close at the end, yet the gun let me down. And you'll see with this tank in many cases, and AMX 50V is in the same kind of vicinity. If you don't have the gun aimed fully, the shots are just gonna go left and right and they're not gonna fly straight. So when you play this tank, you have to ensure that you fully aim your shots, which could be quite difficult, especially if you want to poke out, take a quick shot, hide. And that's where the difficulty with this tank lies, and it's probably hard to get used to because of that. So you just saw me make my first big mistake of the game, and what did I mention to you earlier, guys? If you're trying to just stay there and try to unload your clip, you're gonna get messed up, and that's exactly what happened to me here. So don't do what I just did. I tried to basically take out this Centurion, but unfortunately, I don't know, I got trolled there. I don't know how I was bouncing off of his cupola, yet still it doesn't matter. Basically you cannot really stay out for too long and expose this tank for such a long time with 3-second interclip reload. So here I just basically reloaded, came back up quickly, took him out and hid behind a hill so that I can basically lose my 6th sense. Now if you see the tank destroyer that plays with me in this game. I believe it's an object 704. He puts himself in positions where he cannot really shoot the opposition. I think it would be much more beneficial for him to be sitting somewhere in the E3, E4 area. So when I do my spotting here, he could be basically unleashing from that area onto the opposition. And most of opposition on this side were tier 7s, so we should be easily be able to dispatch them. But because of the position where he's in, he doesn't have any shots. The only shots that were there were for the heavy tank that was in the middle of the map, in the E5 sector over there. But he unfortunately switched his attention now to the cap circle, so I don't have his support anymore. And yeah, guys, when you play on this map and someone's spotting on this side, make sure you have a central location, because I keep on telling this tank destroyer, please move up, help me out. He doesn't really know what to do. So my first priority was to take Centurion out. Obviously he was the spotter. Now T29 has moved up, so I'm gonna try to take him out. Yet I tried a shot on J Panther, was thinking maybe if I can quickly poke, take auto aim shot, it doesn't hurt, to see if I can try to take him out. Unfortunately it didn't come off very well. I'm gonna see if I can draw this T29 over here. So basically what I'm trying to do is hide behind the rock and try to get him, to bait him to come in, but our object takes him out, so he's out of the game. And the game is really close, guys. So it's, what is it, R5 tanks versus 6 tanks on the opposing team, 1 artillery still per side. The important thing here is to try to get rid of all the tanks on this side, and then basically I can come up in the middle and try to help out with a flag. I'm gonna try to get through the bushes. I'm going from bush to bush over here, trying to get as close as I can to that J Panther. Here I see him, I outspot him, and I was expecting to do so. So we take him out of the game to bring the game a little bit closer. Now see where this object is. Like, he would be most beneficial for him where I'm pinging right now is to be in the E4 area. From here where he is, we cannot get shots at the opposition, especially the tanks that are in a base. So the best approach right now is to get through the E3, E4 sector, try to go in the middle and get some shots through there. So I think Destroyer decided to go around using the A lane, which is okay. If he takes out the artillery, that would be the important move. And right now the most important thing for us would be for this heavy tank to survive. And he's still fairly full health, so basically I'm gonna try to tell him to drop, because I see him losing a bunch of health right now. He doesn't need to be engaging the opposition. Basically what he's doing is engaging multiple guns, and what I tell you guys about facing multiple guns, you don't want to be doing that. You want to wait for your teammates to show up and then you can engage the opposition. So yeah, I wasn't very impressed about that. I got actually kind of upset. He had a pretty good game until this point. It's too bad that he actually managed to throw his tank away. Lost so much health and that pretty much cost us the game. Here I made a second mistake in this game, because what I should have done is taken a lot further route. I should have went much further so that Martian doesn't spot me, yet he did spot me. But don't matter now. He sees me, I see his side. So the idea here was to basically take one shot, take him out. But look what this gun does when it's not fully aimed. And Martian is playing it pretty smartly, because it's moving and angling, so it's hard for me to actually shoot him in a weak spot. And finally when I get to fully aim my shot, we kill each other at the same time. So yeah, all I needed was basically one shell to take him out, and I couldn't hit him in the spot because of this gun accuracy. So like I said to you guys before, this tank is pretty good if you can fully aim your shots. And it actually is pretty accurate from long distance. So this tank is pretty good sniper. You can play it from far away, but again, you have to fully aim your shots. And yeah, and that's the reason I'm showing you this game, just to show you what this gun can do when it's not cooperating. And you know, if I wasn't trolled by RNG first thing, if I could have shot this Centurion earlier and didn't lose so much health, I would still have health at the end of the game to try to complete the comeback. But unfortunately that wasn't the case, so that was the mistake. Second mistake was me trying to cut across the field instead of going all the way around. because I could potentially outspot the motion, and if I did, I could have easily taken him out. So this game was very winnable. I was kicking myself after throwing the game here. But it is what it is, unfortunately, and you can't win them all, right? Okay then, artillery goes down. I don't know what he was doing, trying to rush the cap circle, but we only lost by 2 tanks. That's the thing. I mean, we could have completely turned the events of this game around. But again, nothing spectacular, like I mentioned to you guys. Only about, well, 2.8k damage, about 4k combined. It's really nothing for this tank. But yeah, it showed you some gameplay, showed you what I'm trying to do with this tank and what it's best at. So the second game will be much better. So let's move on to the second game. So second game is on map Ruinberg. Honestly guys, this is not map that I really like, but when you are drawn on this side of the map, and I think I covered this in one of my videos, it is very important that you capture E8 or E9 sector. The reason why is because if you neglect this area of the map and the opposing team takes over, they have shots across the map into E1, E2, E3, where usually the brawling happens. So you want to make sure that that you send few of the tanks into this area. Obviously, it's not dependent on you who's gonna come here, but usually when I play and I see not too many tanks going into this area in this direction, I usually already know that the game is lost. Because once you neglect this area, the tanks roll on your back and they basically just destroy everybody in town. So yeah, it is important. And what happened here is the enemy team completely neglected this area, and you're gonna see what happens. So there's no one here. I don't have to worry about anybody engaging anybody from H8 somewhere over there. But take a look at that. The shots that I have through the middle of the map into the brawling area. And what you're usually gonna get is sight of the tanks you're shooting. So I should have probably had 4 pens over here. Last one bounces on E4. But now you can see how dangerous it is to neglect this area first. If you can bring your autoloader into this sector, you're gonna be feasting pretty much. Feasting through the middle of the map. So I'm on a reload right now. We're gonna try to progress further through the field. And once we do that, we're probably gonna have to flank the opposition. So that's the idea here. We have a lot of tanks in the middle, so the team played it pretty smartly. Now you can see the Conqueror is hiding. He already knows that he's under fire, so he doesn't want to take any more damage. So I'm going to hang around here for a second to see if there's any more shots. If there is no more shots, I'm going to try to pick someone one by one. Well, with autoloader, guys, that's what you should be doing. You should be looking for 1 versus 1 engagement so that you can take the opposition tanks out of the game. So again, here I see nothing. Basically, I decided to progress further. I see M103 is isolated. So perfect opportunity for me to ambush him. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna... He doesn't expect me at all. I'm gonna come around here. And luckily he takes the shot too, so I can basically fully aim my shots. I don't have to worry about him shooting me. And we take him out. So with 2 shells left, we're gonna try to engage the medium tank that's still sitting here and defending the base. Yeah, we're gonna try to get in here. He exposes his side. He's not even paying attention to us, so we're basically gonna unload the last 2 shells and we're gonna hide to reload again. Again, I like autoloaders, guys, and I mentioned that before as well, because they give me time to think. So while I'm reloading, I usually look at the map and try to think about the next opportunities. What should I be doing next? Where is my tank useful next? And I noticed all of our tanks kind of drop in the middle there, and I was expecting to engage heavier armor. I was thinking STI and potentially Conqueror here. So I thought to myself, I will load the APCR rounds. I hid from the 6th lane so that no one can hit me in behind. Yet I found this nice position here where I can hide behind the wall, and I do see Gornich's turrets, so easy shots for me here. I'm just gonna fully aim and try to unload my clip into that Gornish, but he realizes he's in a bad spot now, so he's gonna move back. I have one more shell left, trying to see if I'm gonna have a shot at this SDI, but I don't, so I change my attention to the middle of the map, and I see our tanks already engaging. Tank destroyer and a Fatherland. 47R brother, I used to be in that clan long time ago. It was good times. So it's gonna hurt, but we're gonna take him out. Well, we can't really take him out. We put one shell into him. We wanna reload now, but we have enough tanks over here, so hopefully he's not gonna focus us if he decides to come over, and he does. And look at what our Panther does. That was actually very good play. He stopped him from going all the way over the hill so that his gun was pointing down, so he couldn't shoot anybody. And then Panther put a shell into his side. So you're gonna see a little bit of not a very nice fair play by me. I'm trying to squeeze in, racing for damage. I'm pushing this Panther off, but then I'm being a nice guy, and I basically gave him away because I knew I pushed him out of the way. So I felt kind of bad about that. But he's gonna be happy, because what's gonna happen here is we're gonna run into STI, and it's gonna be me running into the STI first, so I'm gonna take the shadow damage, which I shoot anyway because I was relatively full health. And second shot unfortunately bounces. That's what happens when you auto aim, guys. But at this stage of the game, it's basically clean up. But we do have our 14th hit of damage, so relatively good game. We're on a reload now, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get a little bit more damage out of this Conqueror. I think Panther is gonna clean up for us. But again, guys, on this map I wanted to point out the field, and you should never neglect E9 area because it's so important on this map. So if you do, if all of your tanks slamming train and go to town, you probably can count a loss unless you find a good defensive position somewhere so you can defend from all the tanks rolling into your base. So we managed to pick up 5.6k damage, quite a nice number. High caliber metal, Carius metal, I don't even know what that is, but we got Carius metal, first class, and only second class mastery. So you can see how much damage you have to do with this tank in order to get first class or even a mastery ace tanker. We finished in second spot. Panther 2 had a great game with 3.2k damage. So yeah, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed these replays. When you have a chance, go check out Garadingi, check out Clone Guy 72. Happy tanking. Until next time, Space Bandit checking out.